tonight. First and foremost, before we do anything else, we need a huge round of applause for our three finalists, Dennis Tempest, Heather Clevenger, and Steve Smith. Give it up for all of them. They've managed to get this far to our final round, and we promise you're in for a real treat this evening. We do want to thank our sponsors, the Frackville Rotary, Pepsi, and Rebecca's Creations. We appreciate everything that they put into our contest. And just a reminder, I'm sure you all know this, but our winner announcement will take place tonight. After the three contestants perform, there will be a break. The judges will go convene and come back out with our winner announcement. So this is it tonight. A reminder tonight, there are 3 songs each contestant will be singing. The first round is completely a song of their choice. In the second round, we have asked each contestant to deliver their rendition or interpretation of the song Hallelujah. So all 3 of them are singing the same song, but they all have different styles, and you'll see 3 completely different renditions of a Hallelujah in round 2. And in round 3, they were given the theme Classic Country, and the contestants could pick any pre-90s song from a list of 16 songs that they were given. So that is round 3. So you have a nice little variety tonight, and before we get the competition started, we have a lovely young lady we're going to bring up here. If you can put your hands together for Jackie Bubness. Jackie is our 2016 Schuylkill County Junior Idol. She will be joining the winner of tonight's competition on stage next Saturday night at the Schuylkill County Fair. So Jackie, start us off.
When you were here before, I could look you in the eyes. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. So very special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? Don't belong here. I don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want the perfect body. I want a perfect soul. And I want you to notice when I am not around. You're so very special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing? I don't belong here. She runs. Well, she's running out again. I said she's running out. She runs, 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 I said she runs.
You won the Junior Idol back in the winter, and what have you been doing since then?
Well, I sang at the Yingling Mansion for multiple Schuylkill County Art Society things. I sang at the Country Club for a jazz night. I had an amazing first year in my school's drama club in our production of Sweeney Todd. I finished my first year of marching band. It's been an eventful year.
Yeah, you've been a little busy. And of course, she
bit.
sang at the Diamond Raceway for Schuylkill Mall Night. We don't want to forget that. So awesome, so awesome. So are you excited about the fair? What are you looking forward to?
Yes, I am.
Well, you'll find out tonight. We will be on stage, right?
I am very excited to find out.
And you're still very young, but do you have a future in this area, do you think? Are you looking at that or not?
I hope so.
You hope so. Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much for coming back
Thank you
tonight
for
and
having
opening our
me.
show, and we'll see you next Saturday night at the fair. Give another round of applause, please. Jackie Douglas. Obviously, you can see why she won our Schuylkill County Junior Idol title in the winter. All right, well, let's see who our Schuylkill's Got Talent winner is tonight. Let's get things moving. Steve, you're up first. Steve Smith is age 33 from Shenandoah. We won't take time to introduce them to you every round. By now you know them, so as we go forward, we'll just introduce them by name for the other rounds. But this is Steve, so please give him a nice round of applause, welcoming him to the final round as he brings you some Rockin' Robin. And he has a different rendition than Michael Jackson's, but you'll recognize the song as being Michael Jackson. So let's hand it over to Steve.
Which is good in your favor. I think one thing I was missing was a little bit more audience interaction. I felt like we really could have grooved along with you if you encouraged us a little bit more. But vocals were good, the guitar playing was good. Overall, a well done performance.
Thank you.
Hi, Steve. I have to interject this because I played the man who wrote that song a gig many years ago back in the 80s, Bobby Day, and he would have loved it. I got to speak with him. We played a week with him at a club called Harrow's. in Lauderhill. So I'll tell you that Bobby Day would have really dug that. You put a rockabilly feel into it, and you swung on the 2 and the 4 with the accents. It was totally unique. Bobby Day, the writer of that song, would have really liked that. Well done.
Thank you.
Hello. Weren't you first last week too?
Yep.
All right, good job. I'm doing again. But that was really good. I agree with a lot of what they said. I like that you did that song because when I first read what you were doing and was like thinking about it, I'm like, I wonder if he's gonna do that in his own way or like the original. And you really did make it your own. So that was really cool. So good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Give Steve another round of applause for Rock and Robin. Our second finalist is Dennis Tempest. I see he's making his way up here. Dennis is 52 from Frackville. He'll be starting us off tonight with Bobby Darin's Map the Night. If you could please put your hands together for Dennis.
Hi, folks. Oh, come on. Hi, folks. Thank you very much. Oh, the shark bay has such teeth there. You can put them together and it shows them curly white. Just a jackknife and old Maggie, and he keeps it out of sight. You know when that shark bites with its teeth, scarlet billows start to spread. Fancy gloves though with old Maggie, oh, they'll never trace the red. Now on the sidewalk of whose sunny morning lies a body just oozing life, and someone sneaking round the corner. Could that someone be Mac the Knife? There's a tugboat down by the river, don't you know, where the cement bags are just trooping on down. Oh, that cement is it's there for the weight there. 5 will get you 10 old Mackies back in town. Now to hear about Louis Miller, he disappeared, babe, after drawing out all his hard-earned cash. And now Mackie's spend just like a sailor. Could it be boys done something rash? Nah, Jenny Diver, ho, ho, yes, Susie Tawdry, ooh, Miss Lottie Lenya, and old Lucy Brown. Oh, the light falls on the right vein. Now that Mackie, he's back in town. I said, Jenny Diver, whoa, Susie Tawdry, look out, Miss Lottie Lenya, and old Lucy Brown. Yes, that light falls on the right vein. And now that Mackie, he's back in town. Look out, old Mackie is back.
Hey, Dennis. How you doing today? All right. That was really good. I loved how energetic you were. You were so into it. You're moving around there. Your vocals were really good, and I noticed like some really good vibrato in there. Like you're really pushing your voice into the song, and I really thought it suited you good. So great song choice for the song of your choice this week. Good job.
Yeah, Dennis, you always put 110% in your songs, but your outfit, Matt did a beautiful job with the timing of that piece. Yeah, he did a gorgeous
How
job.
about Matt?
Yeah, hear from Matt. So it made it even more entertaining because I was looking at that and in sync, but I really enjoyed it. You got your direct modulation, key changes right on. There was one spot in there I was going, okay, he's somewhere in there and he's going to get right back in the pocket. But you did it, you kept your showmanship going, and that was amazing. Very entertaining. Thank you.
Hi, Dennis.
Hello.
Congratulations to you for making it in the top 3.
Thank you.
I think your showmanship is definitely your strongest point. You are endlessly engaging your audience, encouraging them to join along with you and
I
having
love them
fun.
for coming.
Exactly. No, and it shows that you love your audience when you perform, and it makes us want to watch you all the more. Vocals-wise, the only thing I'm going to be a little bit nitpicky about, that final note,
Yep.
I needed a little bit more support behind that. You were doing a little bit of dancing around, and it was a little bit rocky, a little bit shaky. I feel like a little bit more supported breath would have helped you out on that one. But overall, well done.
Thank you.
And give it up for Dennis, our second finalist of the evening. All right. Okay, Heather, keep your hands together. Heather's on her way up here. This is finalist number 3, Heather Clevenger. Just to remind you, Heather is 33 from Playroom. And for her opening song, she's chosen the Fugees' Killing Me Softly.
Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. Now, we're not going to do the rapping here today, but I know a lot of you guys know this song. So, I want to hear some clapping, some snapping, sing along, get up and dance, whatever you feel like doing. But this is the finals, so we're going to rock this. I heard he sang a good song. I heard he had a style. And so I came to see him and listen for a while. And there he was, this young boy, a stranger to my eyes, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song.
with his words, killing me softly, with his song. Show me my pain. Yes, he was singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. Hi, Heather. Hello. Sounds like you have a little cold or allergies. Yeah, but you always prepare for a song, and I'll tell you, it's not easy to do a song like that we know so well as a ballad. The originator was Roberta Flack. I would love to hear you sing the original. Some energy issues, you kept going, but some intonation things that you probably could hear already. That have you ever done this arrangement before?
I've done that arrangement, but not where I've actually danced.
Right. So it's a
That
first.
makes a big difference.
Sure it does, and the audience should be aware that a lot of these are debut numbers that you're doing. But if you keep that in your repertoire in that style, you have the ability and the soul to really do that. So keep working that. Keep on.
Hello, Heather. Hello. I'm gonna branch off something that she said. I think it's in the same direction here. I like the song choice for you. I think when you hit the chorus part, it was really good. You had the notes there. Some parts in the middle, I got a little lost. Like, I felt like you were trying to give energy with your movements, but the sound itself was kind of like, I want to feel it, but I'm not there yet. But then when you got into that chorus, it really, it felt really good. So like she said, if you're gonna do that more, just kind of like keep that energy, like build it up so we kind of like are waiting for that instead. But your vocals are very good. I love your energy. I love that part in the beginning where you're like, I'm not gonna rap, but I'm gonna tell you to get amped up because we're doing it. So that was really good. Good job.
Thank you. Hello, Heather.
Hello.
Congratulations to you for making it in the top 3.
Thank you.
On behalf of us all. Vocally, as they had mentioned, this was not the strongest we've seen you tonight. I got a little bit of the feeling that not so much cold or allergies was inhibiting you, but perhaps a sense of nervousness. Am I on that at all?
I don't know.
There is something. Okay. There was something in your preparatory breath that didn't allow for you to sustain the notes quite like I've heard you do in the past. There that. But the unsupported breath, you had the vibrato going a little bit more uncontrolled, that those special little, half-step moments weren't quite so prominent. So, of course, my recommendation to you is as soon as you end the phrase is when you start breathing for your next phrase. That will help you support all the way through. You had one really magical moment, though, toward the end, where I heard the Heather that we have heard in times past, when you belted something out in your own originality. I am actually glad you picked the Fuji's version of this one. And I think you know your voice very well, and you know what you're capable of doing. Again, not your strongest performance, but hopefully that little bit will help you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Round number 1 is down. Let me just remind you quickly what our judges are looking for. The contestants are being scored on a scale of 1 to 10 in 4 categories. Those categories are showmanship and stage presence, originality and creativity, audience appeal, and overall performance. And Kim alluded to some things happening back here on the screen. That is Matt Haslam from Matt Haslam Productions. He's been videotaping our contest, throwing the videos up on his website. You can check that out. He also has CDs of the performances available. You can order one from him. But on his own time, he's kind of developing what's happening behind there on the screen. You'll be seeing a little more of his work later on this evening. So thank you, Matt. Okay, on to round 2. Just a reminder, this is the Hallelujah round. Each contestant will be bringing you the same song in their own rendition and style. So let's give it up for Steve as he brings you Hallelujah. making his way through the crowd.
Strong, but you needed proof. Saw her bathing on the roof. Beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to the kitchen chair, broke your throat and she cut your hair. From your lips she drew a hallelujah. Hallelujah. Baby, I've been here before. Know this room and I walk these floors. You still living long before I knew you. See your flag on the marble arch. Love is not a victory march. It's cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 And baby, there's a kind of love in all I ever knew of love. Time to shoot somebody who outdrew you. It's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen a light. It's cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Hi, Steve. That was a very creative version of Hallelujah. That was certainly unlike any version I've heard before. I really like how you picked it up and you started to really, rock it in that way that you do. What I was missing a little bit was the diction and the phrasing. Toward the beginning, I didn't quite feel the words. I didn't quite hear the words. But as you broke out into that style, into the version that you have created, I started to get more of that. You had some really magical moments toward the end when you did a little bit more ornamentation with your voice there. So thank you for treating me with that special rendition.
Thank you.
Yes, Steve, you really made that all your own. It took a lot of guts to take that bridge and just go after it. the blues you put in there and the very subtle soulfulness you opened with, it was hard to get that first lyric. Is this another one that you've just performed, a debut performance?
Yes.
This is a debut performance, so that's really marvelous. Keep that in your repertoire. What you did took a lot of courage to go into that bridge and just put your soulfulness in there. Well done.
Hello. I agree with what she just said about the soulfulness. That was the first thing I wanted to say. I actually liked how you started off like really slow and quiet and the wispy hallelujahs. And I felt like it did build up to that really like energetic, like loud rocker part that I was expecting from you. So I'm glad you did that. I like how you made it your own. It was really a really good version of the song. I've heard it so many times, and that was definitely different than any other time I've heard it. And I just want to point out that you just learned this song singing, but you also just learned it on guitar. So you get some extra props for that. You did good with both. So good job.
Thank you.
And give a round of applause to Steve. And we'll just turn it over right away to Dennis as he brings you his rendition of Hallelujah. If you could please show him your appreciation.
I'm back. This is being filmed, so Gail, this is for you. And anyone else who has cancer, I might add, or had cancer. I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't believe in music now, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew her hallelujah. Before I know this room where I've walked this floor, I used to live alone before I knew you. I've seen your flag on the marble arch. Love is not a victory march, it's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot at someone who outdrew you. It's not a cry you can hear at night, it's not someone who's seen the light, it's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord a song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hi, Dennis. Are you crying?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, don't cry. I thought you wouldn't cry there. I like how you added a kind of a show-tuney kind of feel to it. And maybe that's the wrong way of putting it, but in my head that's what I was trying to say. It was definitely you. You made it more suit your voice, and I like that about it. Some moments in there you had were really beautiful and powerful, and you really got into it, and I love seeing that. You can tell that was a little out of your comfort zone because it wasn't the dance around, hey, I'm here kind of song for you. I was gonna say, I bet you haven't sung it, and I think you did very well for the first time performing that. The only thing I want to say is, if you're gonna do that song again, work on the build-up. I think that you started a little bit strong, and it kind of took away from some of the middle parts. So if you're gonna do it again, start off slow and save that energy for the middle. All right? But good job.
Yeah, Dennis, that was definitely a Dennis Tempest styling. Song styling, you're all your own when you work a tune, you develop it. On the intervals, that minor interval on the hallelujah, that first two syllables, just if you listen to the playback, get those right on target because the intonation wasn't quite in there. Could you hear that a little bit? Singing that?
A little bit.
But you made it your own style.
Thank you.
Well done.
Hi, Dennis.
Hi there.
I agree with Kim, what she was saying. A little bit of the intonation was off. I'm going to disagree, however, with Shayna. I felt like through every single verse of that song, I'm going to start over. I really like how you preserved and respected the integrity of what the lyrics mean from verse to verse. When you start off with David composing the Hallelujah, and then you go with the painful parts. You know, love's not a victory march. It's cold. It's a broken. And you did it in your dramatic showmanship way, but not in a flamboyant showmanship way. I watched you. I was entranced, and I knew that you felt and did it in your phrasing exactly how much the song meant to you, and it impacted me as well. So, very good.
Thank you. Round of applause for Dennis. I think it's probably safe to say, and that's what the judges like to do. The judges like to throw the contestants some challenges as we move on, and I think this is probably going to do some for all three of the contestants. So I think it was a challenge for all three of them, and yes, I'm cutting out again. But that's okay, because it's not about me, it's about them. So give it up for Heather Clevenger again, bringing you her rendition of Hallelujah.
David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this. did my best, but it's not enough. And all I've ever learned of love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew ya. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord of song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah, 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 oh
Hi, Heather. You know, last song I commented a little bit on the breathiness, which I felt was from nervousness, but here I found it in the beginning to be most effective. It was beautiful, it was tender in the beginning. And this is a version I've never heard before, and I'm very glad I got to hear this from you the first time that I heard this version. That when you took off into your style that you do, with that power that you have behind it, and you hit and soared through some of those high notes, that was just simply gorgeous, beginning to end. I very much loved it. Thank you. One little picky thing. You look beautiful. You have great legs. I found myself looking at your legs. For the reverence of the song, and just really picky, very much maybe my own personal opinion, slightly maybe not the most appropriate.
I had a longer one, it didn't fit right.
For shame.
It was really pretty and flowing.
For shame. You look beautiful in it. Again,
Thank
just,
you.
I mean, sometimes think about the song meaning and how your clothing choices can reflect that as well.
Got some music going on here, and you still sang that. Heather, I must tell you sang that with such regal respect. You showed your true vocal abilities, the way you opened your mouth, those beautiful head tones. You really underestimate your gift. Please keep singing. God bless you.
Thank you.
All right, before I comment, I want to say that I was also looking at your legs. I don't feel weird. I was like, oh, she has nice legs. I'm like, wait, song. Okay, song. Anyway, I love that song. I think you did really good. That was a really good version for you. Just like she said, when you got into the Heather part, I thought of it. You really let yourself go. You really saw your talent there. Really good. And when you hit those high notes, I was almost kind of shocked. Like, I was like, oh, awesome. That's really good. So, great job. Keep singing that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Okay, and we enter our final competition round. This is round 3. Again, it's a country song that the contestants could select from a list of pre-90s country songs that were sent to them. So you'll be hearing a little country. And remember, this is the last time you'll see these contestants in competition. One of them you'll see again tonight. So we really want you to give them nice rounds of applause as they make their way up here. Please give it up for Steve Smith. He's singing Ronnie Millsap's I Wouldn't Have Missed It for the World.
Our paths may never cross again. Baby, my heart will never Wouldn't have missed it for the world. They say that all good things must end. Love comes and goes just like the wind. In my dreams I still follow. If I had the chance tomorrow, you know I'd do it all again. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Wouldn't have missed loving you, girl. You made my whole life worthwhile with a smile. I wouldn't trade one memory. You still mean so much to me. No, I lost you, girl. Wouldn't have missed it for the world. Well, I wouldn't give my baby to hear that laugh is driving me crazy. To hold you in these arms again. I feel my soul break as it bends. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Wouldn't have missed loving you, girl. You made my whole life worthwhile with your smile. I wouldn't trade one memory. You still mean so much to me, even though I lost you, girl. Wouldn't have missed it for, I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Wouldn't have missed loving you, girl. You made my whole life worthwhile with a smile. I wouldn't trade one memory. 'Cause you still mean so much to me, even though I lost you, girl. Wouldn't have missed it for the world. Wouldn't have missed it for the world.
All right, now that everyone's done wooing, good job. I want to start out, and this is for all the contestants. This is not a genre and time that I'm very good at judging as far as the song itself. So I'm going to kind of stay away from that a little bit. But I want to say that for something that I'm assuming this is out of your comfort zone. Okay. For something that's out of your comfort zone, I didn't see that from you. You made it your own, you worked with it, you went through the song, and I could never tell that you wouldn't normally do that song. Great guitar, really good vocals, and I think you've been listening to some of the comments we've been saying about watching your voice and making sure we can understand you. I could understand you perfectly in that one, so hopefully they agree, but good job.
Yes, Steve, I sent that one in to Dana, which is a great song, and Ronnie Millsap brings that tempo, a brighter message. You sang that with a lot of reflection, a little bit of like you were putting a little closure on a relationship. It was very unique what you did with the changing of the chord progression in that song, and also the key change, the little interlude you did in there. It was totally Steve, and it was very unique. It took a lot of courage to do that. Well done.
Thank you.
Were you singing that to me?
If you want me to.
voice expressed that emotion, I did feel like it was singing to me. And I'm sure many other members of this audience felt like you were singing to them as well. My one little picky thing is, why the hat? I want to see it on your face too. Why the hat? I wanted to see it on your face. I heard it in your voice, but when you're up on stage, we're all looking at you. We want to see the whole of your face, and I feel like your face could have expressed a lot of that emotion that your brim was just kind of covering there. I helped pick this theme, but I gotta be honest, I really don't like country music. But you made that sound like a soft rock song. And your originality that you always bring in every cover that you do is spectacular. This certainly none more than others, and I felt that vocally, this had to be your best song that I've heard you do. So overall, I'm about
Thank you.
And give it up for Steve Smith, one of our 3 finalists. Thank you, Steve, for bringing us amazing performances every week. All right, Dennis, we're just going to turn it right over to Dennis here. Dennis has chosen Folsom Prison Blues by Johnny Cash. If you give him a nice round of applause, please.
Johnny Cash. You have to throw that in there every time. I'll probably need some hands together here, folks. Since it is the last song.
Don't let me down, please. My brother Ray will be really upset.
I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps rolling on down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. And shot a man in Reno, just watch him die. Don't give up on me. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. There's 6 folks eating from a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free. But those people keep a moving, and that's what tortures me. Well, if they freed me from this prison, if that railroad train was mine, I bet I'd move it on a little farther down the line. Far from Folsom Prison, that's where I want to stay. And I'll let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. Woo!
The Man in Black. You sounded like him, you looked like him. That was a lot of fun. You were definitely pulling out all the stops for your final performance, weren't you?
Yes.
I can tell. That was quite good. You kept the audience engaged when you felt like the clapping was slacking. You built them right
And I
back up.
appreciate that, folks. I really do. Thanks for that.
Exactly. And again, the way you engage your audience always keeps us drawn in. And every song you do is endlessly entertaining. And vocally, much, much better. I love them low notes. That was good.
Yeah, Dennis, I'll tell you, you were spot on. As soon as you opened up with that, you were right on, Cash, right on. Almost thought I heard Cash there. But then you have your own soulful, unique strut. Your phrasing, melodically, you were spot on. It was a happy delivery. I enjoyed it. Thank you. Well done.
Hey, Dennis. Hey, awesome low notes. I was so happy when you hit those. I really like that song, and I honestly think that was one of my favorites that you've done. I really agree with them. The vocals were really good, and you were feeling it, and you were getting into it, and I like how you walked around and got a bunch of people smiling and embarrassed, and that was awesome. So good job.
Thank you. Thanks, folks.
Another round of applause for Dennis. Thank you, Dennis, for the entertainment you brought us each week. We appreciate it. All right, Heather, come on up here. Let's hear it for Heather as she brings you Bobby Gentry's Fancy.
They're still there, Heather. Not sure.
Summer I turned 18. Lived in a rundown run shack on the outskirts of New Orleans. We didn't have money for food or rent, to say the least we were hard pressed. And Mama spent every last penny we had to buy me a dancing dress. Mama washed and combed and curled my hair, and she painted my eyes blue. And I stepped into a satin dancing dress that had a little massage clean up my hair. It was red velvet trim and it fit me good. Standing back from the looking glasses, so the woman where I have no tears had stood. She said, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. Here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. Now mama got a little bit of perfume on my neck when she took my cheek. And then I saw the tears welling up in her troubled eyes as she started to speak. She looked at her little shack and then she looked at me and took a ragged breath. She said, your pulse runs off. I'm real sick and the baby's gonna starve to death. She handed me a heart-shaped locket that said that I own self-true. And I shivered as I watched the roach crawl across the toe of my high-heel shoe. It sounded like somebody else that was talking, asking, Mama, what do I do? She said, just be nice to the gentleman, fancy, they'll be nice to you. She said, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. Oh, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. Lord, forgive me for what I do, but if you want help, well, it's up to you. Now don't let me down, honey, Mama's gonna make you uptown. Well, that was the last time I saw my mom when I left that rickety shop. The welfare people came and took the baby, Mama died, and I ain't been back. But the wheels of fate had started to turn, and for me there was no way out. It wasn't very long till I knew exactly what my mama had been talking about. I knew what I had to do, so I made myself this solemn vow that I was gonna be a lady someday, though I didn't know when or how. But I couldn't see spending the rest of my life with my head hung down in shame. You know, I might have been born just plain white trash. Fancy was my name. She said, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. Oh, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. It wasn't long after the never-been man took me in off the street. 1 week later, I was pouring his tea in a 5-room hotel suite. Yes, you were. Chocolate king and congressman and the occasional aristocrat. And then I got me a Georgia mansion and an elegant New York townhouse flat, and I ain't done that. Take her back. In this world, there's a lot of self-righteous hypocrites who call me bad. And criticize Mama for turning me out, no matter how little we hide. But no, I ain't had to worry about nothing but my own 50
not familiar with that song, but I want to say kudos to remembering all those words. Like, come on, how many lyrics are in that song? I am going to be picky and say that in the beginning, it was really hard to understand what you were saying. And I think that was just because of all those lyrics so quick in a row. Towards the end, you kind of were getting your breaths a little better, and we could hear you better. So good job, like, working on that through the song. On the chorus, your voice was there. You hit the notes. You really are good at controlling where you want your voice to go, and it does stay there for you. So if you ever do that song again, just kind of work on those lyrics, which I'm sure it's hard enough to remember them, let alone spit them out that quick. But good job.
Yes, Heather, I agree with Sheena. Your diction was a little hard to get those lyrics. There's a lot of lyrics to spit out. I couldn't do that. But you had an intention, and you delivered the message with such class. Have you sung that song a lot?
Just once, I think it was actually for Schuylkill Idol Tag.
So this is the second time, right? So I would
That's
go,
it, second.
yeah, I would, and this is, it's very important for the audience to know this is very difficult to do. I would go back, put it in your repertoire, really listen to that. Now, Reba McEntire did it, and of course, I did not know that Bobby Gentry, but I'd love to hear you sing Bobby Gentry's Ode to Billy Joe. Do you know that one? Go and listen to it. It's perfect for your voice. It's a ballad, and it's very soulful. Ode to Billy Joe. But honest to goodness, you really got right on the course. You nailed it with a lot of style. Thank you.
They shared my comments about the diction, so I'm going to say something different. I think the audience here really loves you. Without prompting, everybody started to get into it and clapping along. They could all feel your energy, and they were all feeding off that energy that you were putting forth on stage today. I'm still looking at your legs. Okay, what's there is nice. I think when the clapping started to die down, again, I think had to do with a little bit of that diction. Everyone wanted to listen hard. What were you saying? But then you brought them back into it. So great job engaging your audience and keeping them engaged on you. Wonderful energy, great performance. And I just want to say that I think that no matter who of the three performers tonight ends up on stage at the Schuylkill County Fair, any of them will deliver an excellent performance. So
Agreed.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Heather. And let's have another round of applause, please, for our three finalists. Steve, Dennis, Heather, I think they've all worked very, very hard during these last 4 weeks. And Dana and I were not in those three chairs. So we are going to actually take a 25-minute break. I think the judges need that time tonight. So we're going to take a break, and we'll see you back here in 25 minutes for our winner announcement. Just a few thank yous. First and foremost, we want to thank our three finalists and all of our contestants. Please give it up. Just keep your hands going, because these are all thank yous. You can thank yourself. Continue to clap for yourselves. The judges, Dana and I, applaud you for coming out and being part of our contest. We want to thank DJ Dan. Yes, give it up for DJ Dan, our official Schuylkill's Got Talent DJ. We want to thank the Fracco Rotary Pepsi and Rebecca's Creations for their sponsorship of Schuylkill's Got Talent. Thank you to the Schuylkill Mall, Bonton, Michael's Photography, and Rebecca's Creations for their generous prize donations. And we want to thank people who aren't really here, but it's the guys behind the scene that are putting this all together, taking all the chairs down, putting all the chairs up, putting tables up, taking tables down. So we want to thank the Schuylkill Mall staff, security, and maintenance, and all the people behind the scenes for making that happen. Matt, thank you so much. Matt Haslam, our videographer for our contest, making great videos. He has something special prepared for us tonight that you'll see in a couple of moments. And she told me not to thank her, but Dana, she'd get mad at me. Dana puts all of this together. She's awesome. She writes on here that I should thank myself, and I thank her. That's how it works around here. So all she does is hand me papers. She does all the work. I just have to read. So thank you, Dana. And at this point, we are going to bring Dennis and Heather and Steve up to this side of the stage. Look, they even put little marks so you know where to stand. How advanced is that? And we'll ask our judges to come up here too, and just kind of hang over here to the side, I guess, kind of. They'll be presenting the awards. Our two runners up will also be receiving a prize also. We want to thank them as well. And before we announce our winner, Matt has prepared a special video that will kind of take a look back through our contest. It's not long, just sit tight. And then just a couple reminders, because I think Matt's going to also be announcing our winner here at the end of this. We do want to remind you when the winner's name is projected, please stay in your seats as he or she will then present their winner's song. And then after that, you can swarm the winner. So just a reminder to stay in your seats. Okay, Matt, take it away.
Three weeks ago, 10 contestants from all over Schuylkill County kicked off this year's contest. The first of our 3 finalists, Dennis Tempest, started his quarterfinal journey with Good Life.
Well, just wake up and just relax. Good life, goodbye.
The judges then said they would like to have seen more impressions, which Dennis showcased in his second performance of the night, Let's Dance.
To the song they're playing on the radio.
It was then on to the semifinals, where Dennis would sing The Best Is Yet to Come.
The best is yet to come, come the day you're mine.
He continued his performances with Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
Every rose has its thorn, it does.
And ended his night making judges tear up with his rendition of You Are So Beautiful.
You are so beautiful.
The second of our finalists, Heather Clevenger, kicked off her quarterfinal performances with a powerful rendition of Natural Woman. She then chose to change things up with a unique version of Proud Mary.
Proud Mary, keep on burning, we're rolling.
In the semifinals, Heather moved her live audience with Jennifer Nettles' Stay.
Baby, why don't you stay?
It was then on to the theme round, where she sang Black Velvet. Heather ended her night with a seemingly perfect song choice from Pink.
Pretty, pretty, please, don't you ever feel like you're less than perfect.
Our third finalist, Steve Smith, began his journey with Send Me On My Way. Wrapping up his quarterfinal performances with Here I Go Again.
Not waste no more time. Here I go again on my own.
It was then on to the semifinals, where Steve would open the night with Elton John's Tiny Dancer.
Hold me closer, time to dance. Count the lights all my way.
In the theme round, Steve would play the 80s hit Listen to Your Heart.
I don't know where you're going, and I don't know why. Listen to your heart.
Finally drawing his night to a close with Have You Ever Seen the Rain?
I don't know, have you ever seen the rain? I don't know, have you ever seen the rain?
Over the past 3 weeks, our judges had minor critiques for each of our final 3 contestants, but overall, thought each of them improved as the competition progressed. The journey for 52-year-old Dennis Tempest began more than a year ago, making it all the way to the final round before the well-deserved victory of Andrew Gabriel. Dennis got right back on the horse and practiced all year to ensure he came back with even bigger and better performances, hopefully to secure his victory here tonight. 33-year-old Heather Clevenger made no secret she was in it to win it as well. Over the past 3 weeks, she has showcased her dancing, singing, and performing abilities by improving each week and listening to the constructive criticism by our panel of judges. 3 weeks ago, 33-year-old Steve Smith started off as one of 3 guitarists in this year's contest, including his brothers Sean Smith and Cody Wiley. Steve stands as the only contestant remaining in this year's contest to perform with an instrument accompaniment in place of karaoke. Throughout the 4-week competition, they have collectively performed for hundreds of live audience members, their talents have been shared with over 4,000 people all over the world watching every Wednesday at matthausenproductions.com. They have come as far as they can go on their own, and now it's time to see who will walk away with $500 gift certificates from Schuylkill Mall, $100 gift certificate courtesy of Bonton, a photo shoot courtesy of Michael's Photography, a performance on August 6th at the Schuylkill County Fair, and be crowned the winner of the second annual Schuylkill's Got Talent 2016.
A little pause on the slideshow this morning. Final reminder, and then I'm going to duck back here in the corner and get out of the way. Just, the judges wanted to express that they so enjoyed the competition and loved all three contestants and how very difficult this was for them this year. They wanted to just remind the audience what they were looking for. Again, it's Schuylkill's Got Talent. They're looking for a total package of showmanship and stage presence, originality and creativity, audience appeal, and again, overall performance. Once again, those were the judging categories. So I'm going to get out of the way, let Matt wrap this up, and reveal our Schuylkill's Got Talent 2 winner. We have a drum roll. Yeah, we got a drum roll. Oh, come on, give us a drum roll, Dan. And together.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
And our winner is Schuylkill. Give a nice round of applause to Dennis, our Schuylkill's Got Talent 2 winner. And keep your hands together, please, for Heather and Steve, please. Amazing finalists, each gifted in their own right. A lot of talent taking place on this red carpet this year. A lot of talent. Yeah, you get Dennis a second now. Dennis, come on over here. Oh, no, it's okay. I'll hold those for you. I promise I won't keep your prizes or your flowers. I know, and I'll hang on to those for you. Is anything you'd like to say?
Thank you, folks. Woo! I appreciate the support. Really, really lots. And I was a nervous wreck, no matter what. I looked composed, but the knees were going. It's so, thank you for coming out. I appreciate it. Thank you. No, I didn't think so. That was a different rendition. Technical difficulties, folks. Oh, Lord, my God, when I'm in awesome wonder, consider all the world